Why do you draw the line when actors or black bodies are kissing? That is a white mentality, and we need to get to that point where we realize the white gaze has been controlling what we are producing. Who said it's not sexy when Africans are kissing? Do you not kiss? Do you kiss? I'm sure nikitafuta hapa hata kuna mtu naweza pata ulikiss too before this. Asante sana. Jamani, na amenivalisha. Tuli work na Brian Emery pale. I was my stylist, and this dress we got it from Nawi, I think, yes.
And of course, what brought us here is Nawi. Tuambie, the movie, what role are you playing in?
Yeah. So I'm playing Madame Christine in the movie, and basically this is the hero in Nawi's mind, in Nawi's future. This is the person who is always driving her to what her dream is. Yeah.
And seeing you being a bigger actress in Kenya, how did you get the opportunity to be featured here? How did they choose you?
Yeah, imagine they put a call out, I auditioned, and I got the role. So they did not know me. They did not know who I was. Everyone auditioned purely, no one had the influence. Yeah.
Some people feel like being an actress, especially an established actress, kuna kwa ile favor tunapigiwa simu. Yeah, but wewe uliitwa pale.
I think each person who was in that film auditioned for that film, and even if at some point your name buys you leverage, you didn't just get there. You built your name. There's work that you have been doing, and so if you're being called to closed auditions, it's not that it's unfair. You've worked for it, and you've gotten there, and you've proved that there are certain roles that you're able to pull off. And if you're the first person that comes to their mind, you've worked for it. You didn't just sleep and arrive there. There's been years and years of work behind that. Yeah.
And when we look at the Nawi, the concept behind it, it's something that is kind of spreading our culture in Kenya. Now, ukiangalia role ambayo umecheza. Now, you are a fellow actress in the movie. But tuambie, the association, you working with these people, how does it make you feel?
Yeah. First of all, Michelle, who is the star of the film Nawi, was absolutely fantastic. So she met me on the first day, and apparently she was my fan from my Empress. So she was so excited to see me on set the first day. But what amazes me about her, it was her first time acting. And if you know, acting is really dreadful. So for a child to pull that off, that's fantastic. And Charles Oda was also her acting coach. He was the acting coach for the kids. And she is so disciplined on set. She was very willing to give the best, and she's like, how do I do this better? How do you think I can say this line better? And all doing this all while trying to do her KCPE exams or something like that. So, and she passed her exams. So that kid, the world is not ready. The world is not ready for Michelle.
This is Oscar's direct.
Oh, it is, because she gives me vibes for Maxwell Simba, who did The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. He was a first-time actor, and funny enough, he was from Alliance. And that's how Maxwell moved to the UK, and we never heard about him again. And Michelle gives me those vibes. I know she says she wants to be a doctor and everything, but this girl, Hollywood is waiting for her. It is waiting for her.
Yeah. And how long have you been in the film industry by then in Kenya?
So, actually, next year I'm going to be turning 10 years in the industry. Woo, woo, woo! And I'm doing Nyokabi at 10. So it's also going to be a celebration of the experience that I've gathered all these years, but also just start to write my own material, because as an actor, you're always almost the last to receive the script. And so next year I want to put stories on stage that I have created or that I curated and that kind of thing. So please come for that. Yeah.
And of course, being a female actress in Kenya is not an easy thing, especially ukiangalia pale, some people would want to take advantage of you sexually. They upewe roles flani. Is a story umezisikia?
I think so, yeah. I feel like I would be a fool to say that no, it's not happening. It's definitely happening. And people who are in power, I feel like, take advantage of that, and they might say that it's a consensual relationship, but at the end of the day, if you know you're at a certain position and you're influencing your actresses in a certain way, then that's not right. So I definitely agree that it's there, and I don't think we have proper structures to support any victim that might come forward, because again, they might be told, we have this thing of, how did you know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And talking about my Empress, ukiangalia ile wakati ilitolewa,
Yeah.
most people associated my Empress with Abel Mutua because
Yes.
alikuwa behind the people who came up with the idea.
Yeah.
Your relationship with Abel Mutua na vile aliweza kukupatia ile kazi pale Empress.
Yeah.
Hebu tuambie relationship
I
yako.
auditioned for it. So actually I had done Too Early for Birds, Brazen. I don't know if you guys watched Mboya. So there's a company called Too Early for Birds and they do stories about heroes and heroines and whatever. And so they saw, the producer for Too Early for Birds was writing for my Empress. And they mentioned this character and she said, can you bring this girl in to audition for that? Gadhoni was the one who fronted my name to audition for that. And I auditioned for it, and the moment I stepped into the room, their words verbatim, I asked for a chair, and my character was very bossy, and they were like, this is it.
Yeah.
Because I went into the room and I said what I wanted with the audition, as opposed to the other way. It usually happens the other way around. They tell you what to do. I went in and I was like, I need that, I need that, I need that. Set it for me, let's go. So that was by audition. Yes.
Na kuna hiki tunataka kujua, when you are given an emotional scene, machozi yanaanza kutoka. Ni kitu ngumu na pewangu ama nini unaweka kwa macho?
It depends. You have different techniques as an actor. Sometimes you draw from your own real experiences, real life experiences, but also that can only take you so far. Sometimes unalia yote inaisha. And sometimes, I kid you not, if you stare into a space for a long time without blinking, you start getting tears. Sometimes you just have to pull the tricks from your bag. You just look for any tricks because sometimes you're exhausted. You've done that scene more than 8 times, and so how do you reproduce the same performance? So it's different techniques, and different actors have different ways of achieving that. Yeah.
Now, what role do you find it easy you playing as an actress?
Ooh, I feel like I've been cast in a lot of like romantic leads and the damsel in distress. Oh my God, I need a man to save me and I'm in love. Those are some of the films that I've been put in. But I would be curious to see myself in an action film. Like in the field where, so like I really enjoyed riding the motorbike in Nawi. Like those are the kind of stuff I want to do. I want to do stunts. I want to do, physical stuff. Yeah.
And what does it take for you maybe to prepare for maybe to appear before the screens?
Yeah.
Najua ikwangi rahisi upewe script usome or you rehearse and all that. Hebu tuambie hiyo journey inakuanga vipi kwanza?
First, every actor has their own different process. For example, for Nawi, we met with the directors online because at the time they were in Germany. So we met with them online and they explained the story to us and they're like, do you have any questions? And so it's up to you to go and find out, okay, what does this character do? What can I add on to her? Something that I'm finding very helpful recently is trying to think of real human beings that I know and trying to pick some of their nuances that excite me as Nyokabi. I'm like, oh, this person does this when they're lying, and I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. Let me play with that in the character. Some people use animals. I don't know if you guys know, but T-Bag for Prison Break, he used to do this thing with his tongue where it's like this, and he copied it from a snake. So every time he would lie, he would do something with his tongue. And so those are some of the things as an actor, you borrow from animals, you borrow from real human beings because you're creating, living and breathing characters. Yeah, so they can't be generic. Yeah.
And of course, okay.
Before maybe you ask your question, I just wanted you to send a message to someone who has not watched your movie today. What would you like to tell them?
I mean, you better get into the theater and watch the movie. And I think the subject is very interesting. I feel like because we live in town and we are so far away removed from other cultures, we think that people are not going through child marriages. And I want you guys to know also, this is not a Kenya problem. In fact, Jungus, people, I don't know if it's in Australia or the UK, they actually have more statistics when it comes to child marriages than here. And so I think it's also a challenge for people to be like, okay, where else do they face these things and how can we help the people that are close to us as well? Yeah.
And talking about international influence in the Kenyan film industry, do you feel sometimes maybe the international film industries wanna influence Kenya kiplani in terms of scenes and writing scripts?
I think so. You know, a lot of our films that we produced in the country, you know, have had executive producers from different countries. And so that means a fusion of different cultures and that type of thing. And so there's definitely going to be influence when it comes to the words, when it comes to the nuances, because they might miss. For example, someone who is not Kenyan might miss on a certain word. There's a way you express a word in Swahili that is just not the same when you express it in English. And so it's an explosion of cultures, and there's definitely going to be different cultures seen in that piece of work. Yeah.
As an actress, you have limitations when you are featured in any movie. Kuna wengine watasema, if a movie na involve me kissing, me going on a bikini, it's a no.
I think I wouldn't say I have limitations, but I have to see why that has been put in the script. For example, if it's a scene, a sex scene, what is the purpose? Is it driving the story, or are we just pleasing people with our bodies and that type of thing? So I think for me, I love going into a room or into a project open-minded, with an open mind and spirit. And if there's a sex scene and I'm like, oh, that actually adds to the story, I would definitely do it. Yeah.
And you feel maybe Kenya wako ready to embrace such scenes, maybe?
I think we are there. We are really getting there. I don't know what you've been watching. Have you watched Single Kiasi? We are there, and you people need to start getting comfortable. Are you not kissing in your houses? You're kissing in your houses. You're making love in your houses. Why do you draw the line when actors or black bodies are kissing? That is a white mentality, and we need to get to that point where we realize the white gaze has been controlling what we are producing. Who said it's not sexy when Africans are kissing? Do you not kiss? Do you kiss? I'm sure nikitafuta hapa hata kuna mtu naweza pata ulikiss too before this. So Kenyans need to get comfortable with expressing love, with being comfortable with, we are holding hands, we are kissing in public. It's love, it's an expression of love. There's nothing to do with culture there. It's an expression of love, and we need to get comfortable, because we are doing these things in our bedrooms, in the clubs. I dare you right now, let's go to a club. Let's see if we're not gonna see people making out. But then when it comes on screen, when we are showing you what you usually do, there you have a problem.
Are Kenyans too rigid when it comes to such scenes?
I think they judge Kenyan shows a bit more harshly than foreign stuff. And there's a hatred that we have with our staff and with our musicians and with our artists that really, really needs to just come to an end. It's interesting that you'll see a bad movie with white people, but you won't react the same way with the way you're going to react with the Kenyan one. You'll be more harsh with the Kenyan. And remember, we are 50 years into independence. We are competing with an industry that these people did not have to get independence in the first place, or if they did centuries ago. We don't even have an industry. We've made an industry out of nothing. Most of people here did not go for training. And so we look at what we are producing, and most people haven't gone to school. So imagine and all of these things, kutoka vitimbi, kutoka what? Look at how we've grown. How about we say, aya, bebe, we've come a long way. And then know that our stories are interesting and start telling our stories. Like our stories, by this in Abamba, we are not boring. Yeah.
And of course, talking about you being a film actress, when you want to come up with your own film industry, or rather movie in Kenya, is it easy to produce your own movie? Ama kuna kuangana the opposition from the government sometimes?
Where do we start? From policies that don't support filming, to budgets, to God, even when you talk about subscriptions in South Africa and Nigeria are far more ahead than ours, and that's why if you buy a Kenyan movie, if Netflix buys a Kenyan movie, they'll buy it at a lesser price, like at a lower price than a South African movie, because also our people are not subscribed. The more you don't subscribe, the more they're thinking there's no market here, so why should we be here? And so I know that there's a hunger for arts that is coming up. The theater shows that have been here, so many things have been sold out. This film was sold out, and that's a step. It means that Kenyans want to see our things. They want to see our people in our projects. Yeah.
So it's quite hard to produce your movie here in Kenya.
It is. Not only in Kenya, anywhere in the world. I mean, even content creation. Don't even go to content creation. before you go and get your makeup done and hair, and before videographer akuje mtu lights, it's expensive. That stuff is expensive.
And whenever a film is mentioned, swali la mwisho, KFCB has to be drawn in the Kenya Film Classification Board. Has it helped the Kenyan film industry in any way? Kulingana na maoni yako?
I feel like these bodies are concerned with the wrong things. It's, we have a sex scene, we have to protect kids. Do you think that's the only movie they're going to see such things in? And I'm not saying that you should not protect them. I feel like be concerned with larger, bigger policies that will uphold us as an industry. It's not just about you, saying that this is 18 years and above. What more are you doing beyond that? Are you then seeing, okay, is there cultural appropriation in these things? Is there, what else can we do basically?
Swali la mwisho kwa maoni ya mwisho kwa mashabiki wako, sorry.
Mashabiki wangu nawapenda sana. Asante sana for selling out Nawi. We are so excited. Please go and see it in cinemas. I think it's going to be coming out somewhere. Look for the updates on my page. And please, let's journey for Nyokabi at 10 next year. Super excited. Pia mimi munijazie show.
Thank you.
Thank you.